Welcome to Picking Bones. My name is Eric Jones. Today we're going to talk about video games and the dangers that they present to the public. We're going to talk about video game addiction specifically and how games are designed to be addictive. And it's not just our games, it's also our social media. You know, when you go onto Twitter and you click onto your notification tab, or just before you click on your notification tab, there's a slight delay that's built into Twitter. And that delay is there to act essentially like a slot machine acts. It gives you a slight pause, lets you build up your excitement. How many notifications am I going to have? Did people like what I had to tweet out? How much impact did I have on the conversation? You get all excited about your notifications. And that's by design. And it's, they've put a lot of study into making sites like Twitter addictive. There's a lot that goes into that. And it exists in our games as well. Especially in our mobile games and certain types of games like shooters, we see a lot of these same systems put into place that are built to breed addiction to these games. We have these systems that show up with currency, where you've got in-game currencies that you can earn for, some currencies you can get just by playing the game for free. You've also got premium currencies. So if you want to spend a little extra money to get ahead in the game, you can do that. You've also got daily missions. You've got a limited amount of stuff that you can do each day, and it's designed so that you have to play it every day. So you can't just play the game when you want to and unlock things as you do on your own time. No, the game wants you to come back, put some time into it every day. Otherwise, you don't get to unlock all the rewards that you potentially could. So you have to log in every day. And so they've also got these login rewards just for logging on. You get extra rewards, makes you feel super good just for hopping into the game. And you've got things like prestige systems where you can, get after you've unlocked everything on your characters, you can go ahead and just start back over from the beginning. But you'll get a cool icon to show everyone how cool you are and how much time you've spent on the game. We see these same systems show up again and again. This is from Call of Duty, one of the first games to really bring out the prestige system. Now, another game that's super popular these days is Fortnite. You may have seen various politicians and media figures making horrible embarrassments of themselves trying to do dances from Fortnite. This game is just super popular, and kids, adults, all sorts of people are playing it. And it's a game. It's one of these games that I think more than any other game any game I've ever seen has all of these addiction systems built into it. It's really designed to keep you coming back again and again, and you're constantly just unlocking more and more stuff. And that feels good every time you unlock new stuff in a game. It's one of the things that keeps players coming back, and this game is just designed to be as addictive as possible. Now, like many games and movies and television shows these days, it's loaded with Illuminati symbolism. So you do these storm shield missions, for example, where you have to defend a big pyramid, and you've got, this is the storm shield symbol, where you've got the pyramid with the all-seeing eye at the top. They just throw this pyramids and satanic symbolism just in everything these days. Now, we do have sports and all sorts of other distractions. It's not just video games. Like, many things are built to draw us in and waste our time on frivolous garbage. Like, they're just designed to be time wasters. That's what their true purpose is. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying football or enjoying video games, but it's very easy to waste too much time on these things. But a difference between something like football and sports and video games is that video games are deeply immersive, even more so than watching television or film, because you're taking part in it. You are the character doing the actions. So just by design, it's more immersive. Now, I'd like to focus our discussion today a lot on this series, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is another one of the most popular series, like Fortnite, out there these days. And it is a shooter. It's a bit more adult, less cartoony than Fortnite is. And this is from a level called No Russian, from, I think it's Call of Duty 4. And in this level, you play an undercover operative I think he's infiltrated some terrorist cell, and you go in and you mow down a bunch of innocent civilians in a airport. That's the whole level. You just go around and mow a bunch of people down that aren't shooting back. At the end of the level, I think you do get into firefights with people, but most of the level is just like you butchering people. It's really horrific stuff. And you have to keep in mind that a very large portion of the audience for these games is young kids. So you've got very adult stuff built into these games that young kids are playing through. And it's not just scenes that they're seeing in the game. You're taking a part in these things. Call of Duty is a series that's just loaded with Illuminati symbolism and Masonic symbolism. In Black Ops, you start playing as this character named Alex Mason, and he's a CIA operative, yada yada. Now, at some point in the game, your character, it seems like he basically gets brainwashed. I think it's by the Russians, and the Russians send him to kill President Kennedy. And I'm not sure if it's clear in the game whether or not he did this. I haven't actually played through this one. I have no intention to. I think that the character just doesn't believe that he killed them, but he is told by the Russians that he did kill Kennedy. So they built in this plot line where this character named Mason kills President Kennedy. Yeah, interesting. They've also got this stuff. This was a tweet from Call of Duty. They say, Illuminati confirmed. You can get some new gear for your loadout. And you can wear this Illuminati armor. You can wear a pyramid on your face in the game. Super cool. So the Illuminati is by name in the game. In many of the Call of Duty games, they have pyramids and stuff all over the place. And especially in one game mode, the Nazi Zombies game mode, where you just fight endless hordes of Nazi zombies. I think they're Nazis. I don't even know. They're zombies anyway. And so you fight a bunch of zombies. And there's a scene in one of the first games with this Call of Duty games with this zombie mode, where this mad scientist character says to you, "You're doing a great job for the Illuminati." Now, in the context, there might be more meaning to that in the context of the game, because it does have the secret society in the game. But what that really sounds like to me is just a mockery of the player, because it's just saying it to you, like, good job wasting your life on this meaningless nonsense of mowing down these digital zombies. Like, you're doing a great job for the Illuminati by wasting your life away doing this. That's what that quote really sounds like to me. That's what it means to me. Now we've got this article on the newest Call of Duty game, where they kind of rebooted the series a bit, I think, just last year. And yeah, so this is from VentureBeat. The article is called "Why Call of Duty Modern Warfare Has Torture, Child Combat, and Shooting Unarmed Women." So it talks about how there's all these scenes. The author of this article really didn't seem comfortable with a lot of the stuff that they put into the game. So he talks about how these scenes include a Russian chemical weapons attack on a village where we see dead children and a dog, mass executions by Russian soldiers, and a gut-wrenching hand-to-hand combat scene between two children and a Russian soldier who gunned down the father of his children in cold blood. And it's always Russians. Like, they're really amping up the Russian anti-Russia propaganda lately. We see that in our media as well. In another scene, you go in with a special operations squad to clear a house in London that serves as a terrorist base. You clear the room one by one, shooting whoever is a threat, whether they're male or female. They're all Middle Eastern, and at least one of them is an unarmed woman. If you don't shoot them, you may fail your mission. So like this No Russian scene. They're having you take part in this horrific stuff, butchering civilians, butchering an unarmed woman. Yeah, so he says he ends up interviewing the one of the guys, the designers, who said that these games were designed to make you feel uncomfortable, to make you think. Well, what are you trying to make us think with all this Illuminati crap, with all this horrible, needless stuff that you put into your games? What are you trying to make us think? Like, what are you trying to do to the kids that are playing your games? I don't think it's anything good. I don't think you're just trying to start the conversation about these controversial topics. That's bullshit. It's about conditioning kids' minds, and it's really sick. So here's some statistics on how concerned parents are about whether their kids are playing too much Fortnite. It says 54% from the 916 people were polled. 54% not concerned at all about the amount of time their kids are playing Fortnite. You should be concerned. These games are designed to be deeply addictive. And, part of why I brought up Fortnite for this video is because I was talking to one of my friends who's a father, and he's seeing how his kids are drawn into this game, how it's super addictive, and they want to play it. And I'm glad that he limits his kids' time playing this game, because it is designed to rot their brains. Like, these things are literally designed to condition us, to keep us docile. So more parents should be concerned about this. It's so easy these days to spend a massive amount of time on television, on film, on video games, on social media, apps. We just have endless distractions these days. I think sometimes about how it was for people before they had all this technology. When, imagine just being somebody who has to sell their goods, traveling for a day, perhaps speaking to no one, and just to get somewhere where you can sell your goods. I mean, the amount of travel time without vehicles, and the amount of time that gives you when you don't have an iPod or anything to listen to, just time to think. We don't do that. So many of us don't do that anymore. We don't take the amount of necessary time in just silence to process what's happening in our lives, to process the things that we've seen and read and watched. We just are always on to the next thing. And it's so easy to do that because we have endless distractions these days. And I think we need to do our best to resist these endless distractions. Because they're really built to be that. They're built to hold us back. Here's a quote by George Orwell from 1984. He says, "Heavy physical work, the care of home and children, petty quarrels with neighbors, films, football, beer, and above all, gambling filled up the horizon of their minds. To keep them in control was not difficult." We give ourselves up to the control by giving too much of our time to these meaningless things. It's not a crime or wrong to enjoy football or a video game or a beer, but it is a problem when you let these things consume you, and they're designed to consume you. He ends saying that gambling is perhaps the worst one used to fill our minds. And Epic Games actually got sued for putting gambling into their games. So many of these companies put gambling into their games with their loot crate systems, with unlocking the way that you unlock rewards. It's super addictive, and it's designed to be that way. And so many of the people playing these games are kids. So they're, getting kids into the gambling from a very young age. It's not good. So they got sued and had to rework how the loot crates work in the game. But we see these systems exist in so many of these games. And, like all these other systems, these daily rewards and daily quests, it's all just designed to consume you, keep you coming back, to keep you from doing things that are actually going to help you grow as a human being, from actually being a productive member of society. And I'd like to end by talking about how that's only going to get worse with virtual reality. We have a lot of kind of scary technologies on the way. It really is like a science fiction world that we're living in, with the level of rapid advancement that we see in technology. But I think the one that horrifies me the most is virtual reality, because it's so easy already for people to give up so much of their time to these virtual realities, these virtual worlds. But that's going to be so much more intense as we see, enhanced virtual reality technology. We're going to see this tech get more and more advanced, and then you're going to see, along with that, the propaganda in these games, the addiction of these games, just increasing more and more. People are just going to want to spend all of their time in these virtual worlds, and it scares me. Like, there's no way that these things are not going to just become hyper addictive. So I think that we all owe it to ourselves and to those around us and to God to not allow these things to consume us. We have to resist the urge to go from one app to the next, to stop playing on all these social media sites and stop wasting our time on these games and movies all the time. Just find time to do things that are really going to help you and help others. So I hope you enjoy this video, and give me a subscribe and a like if you haven't done that already. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.